So, Bossman Jerk has been arrested. Now, I'm going to sort of make this video incredibly quick because I know exactly, well, okay, so the details about this that apparently he's facing up to about, allegedly, 10 years in prison because he was caught in 4K making a phone call to a narcotics dealer whilst on stream, and he did this without muting his microphone. Yeah, you heard me right. He was on the phone wanting to buy drugs, and he didn't even think to turn his microphone onto mute. Now, before we get on to why he did that, now I can tell you exactly why he did it but we'll get to that in a second. I'm going to tell you, guys, a little story. Now, you may remember I've talked about Bossman Jerk a couple of months ago and how I explained that as a former professional poker dealer, I can tell you absolutely the telltale signs long before things got this out of control for Boss, that quite frankly he was heading for a path of self-destruction and regret. And to be honest, I was actually contemplating when I first started talking about him for the first time on my channel, I genuinely wanted to speak to him in person because quite frankly, I think he needs to understand this from somebody who sees this sort of thing go on, that quite frankly, Boss is going to ruin his life. Personally, I felt like that's the sort of thing I should have done, and I know some people would have immediately labeled me as like an A-log or a carpetbagger and whatnot, but I want people to understand I've seen this sort of thing destroy people's lives. It's a dreadful, dreadful thing because you're sort of watching it in real time, and you know fine well, and as well as everybody else, that there are no happy endings with this. You know, people play to win, but I'm telling you right now, guys, the house always wins. There are no winners. There are no winners this time on Takeshi's Castle, and there never will be. Because nobody wins when you gamble. The house is the only thing that wins. It doesn't matter if the horse comes first, second, last place. That doesn't matter. The house always wins. You can't beat the house. And then things got worse. Because there's the case of why Bossman was doing narcotics. Now, I can tell you exactly why that is. It's probably the easiest thing to explain in this video. And it's this. Because when you become addicted to something, whether it's gambling or alcohol, you become addicted to other things as well. I would almost be willing to say that Bossman Jerk's, he's got more of an addictive personality, meaning that once he leeches onto something, it's impossible for him to be pulled away. And I see this a lot as well with people who are addicted to alcohol, people who are addicted to drugs. I see this thing, and it happens much, much closer to home than you might think. And it destroys lives. But of course, and I'm sure you guys will probably understand the sentiment, is that when it destroys lives, it destroys other things as well. It destroys the lives of those closest to you. And let me just... I'm going to sort of... Do you want me to just sort of summarize this whole sorry state of affairs before we finish? Once you get involved into addiction, is that it starts to completely overtake your senses. And even during my time as a poker dealer, I'm telling you right now, once you become addicted, you completely lose your trail of thought, your rationale, your logic, and you start doing things that absolutely do not make any sense. And that's exactly what's happened to Boss. His addiction has run him so completely out of control that Boss starts doing things that he knows fine well he should not be doing. Now, with that being said, whether or not you feel sorry for Boss in all of this, because the man clearly has an out-of-control problem, there's no two ways about that. Whether or not you really feel that bad for him, however, because this was absolutely a tool, he was absolutely a tool of his own making. That's just it's one way or the other. Some people may say that the only reason why people will feel Boss feels any way bad, it's because he got caught out for this. I, however, also attribute it to the fact that Boss is completely untampered as a result of the loss of his senses. He has no sense of control, and he has lost his sense of common sense. And once that's gone, it takes a very, very, very long time to get back. And you want to know why it takes so long to get back, guys? Because, as I've said this for many other people, Boss Man he's a hamster trapped on a hamster wheel. It's going to take an awful lot of courage, and you've got to somehow get off this wheel one way or the other, because all you're doing is going round and round and round and round, and you just don't know how to stop or how to get off. However, it seems as if that decision is now a little bit beyond Boss Man's control as well, because depending if he gets sentenced or what he has to actually serve in prison, we'll have to wait and see. But maybe, just maybe, this is a little bit of a blessing in disguise. Maybe in some way, Boss Man being just taken away and not having to so much as put a single dollar back into stake. Maybe this is absolutely the time to fold. The chips are down. Boss Man is down on his luck. But at least now he has plenty of time to thinking, and think very seriously about whether or not this gamble was really worth it. So with all that being said and done, I'll see all of you guys again next time. If there's any more updates about why or how or what's next, then I'll be sure to let you guys know as well. Okay, thank you.